If you find shopping for jeans frustrating, you are not alone. With so many brands and styles, all with different fits, finding jeans that actually fit can feel impossible. As a personal stylist, I have found that there are 3 key elements that will actually give you a perfect fit. So by the end of this video, you're going to be able to go out and find your perfect pair of jeans. Even for me, shopping for denim has always been a guessing game. But once I understood these 3 elements, it completely changed the game for me, and it made shopping for denim so much easier. And one of these elements is not super talked about, but it made the biggest impact, and it made shopping for denim online so much easier. All right, let's get started. So the first key element is the denim rise. And rise is important because it determines where the top of your jeans sit. And there are 3 rises that we see. There is low rise, mid rise, and high rise. So when you're measuring rise, you are looking at the distance between the crotch seam of the jean and the top of the jeans. And whether something is low rise or mid rise or high rise is going to be in relation to your belly button. So high rise jeans should sit above your belly button. Mid-rise jeans should sit just at or just slightly below, and low-rise jeans should sit below your belly button. Now, here's why understanding your rise is crucial. Not all rises are equal. High rise is generally anywhere between 10 inches and above, mid-rise generally between 8 to 10 inches, and low rise is anything below 8 inches. But this is going to vary across brands. So when you understand what your rise is, you know exactly what to look for. So how do you know which rise you should get? So knowing which rise you should get is going to depend on your body proportions and what's comfortable. So let's start with proportion. So with proportions, you might have a long torso and short legs, you might have a short torso and longer legs, or you might be more balanced proportions. And depending on your proportions, a certain rise is going to feel more flattering and be more comfortable than others. I like to use myself as an example because I personally have a very long torso and shorter legs. And so if I wear jeans that have a lower rise, they make my legs look even shorter and my torso even longer. It just accentuates my body disproportion. But when I wear a high-rise pair of jeans, it has a leg lengthening effect and it makes my proportions feel a lot more balanced. So vice versa, if you are someone who has a shorter torso, wearing a pair of high-rise jeans might make your torso feel even shorter. And so going for something that's a little bit of a mid-rise or lower rise is going to help balance out your proportions. The other piece to rise is just what's most comfortable to you. And especially as we get older and our bodies change and you might be carrying weight in certain parts of your body, picking a rise that's going to feel comfortable makes a huge difference. So for me, I have a bit of a lower belly. And so when I wear a low rise and it's kind of cutting me off at my belly, or even a mid rise, which cuts me off in the middle, it's a really uncomfortable fit. So I prefer a higher rise, which is going to skim over my midsection and offer me that comfort and support. So to measure your rise, you're going to want to measure from the crotch seam to your belly button. And that's going to give you your ideal mid-rise. And then just add an inch or 2 to get your ideal high rise and subtract an inch or 2 to get your ideal low rise. And that's going to give you your range that you know that you need to look for. So now when I'm looking for high-rise jeans, if I see that something isn't at least an 11-inch, I know that it's not going to actually sit high-rise on me, and I can avoid buying those altogether. So element number 1 is denim rise. Key element number 2 is the denim inseam. And this measurement is going to determine where the bottom of your jeans are going to sit. So with inseam, I'm thinking about what the style of the jean is and my leg length. So to measure your inseam, you're going to want to measure from the crotch seam down to your ankle bone. And then you can use that measurement as your base to then figure out what inseam you're going to be looking for depending on the style of jean. So if you are looking for an ankle length jean, so something like a skinny jean or maybe a straight leg jean, you're going to want to look for something around your inseam. For boot cut and flares, you're gonna want a little extra length, so you're gonna wanna add a couple inches to that. And with crop jeans, those you want to be a little bit shorter than your ankle bone, so you can kind of subtract from there. Knowing your inseam is super helpful because it can help prevent you from buying jeans that are too short or too long. And it can also help you when you're thinking about the type of shoes that you're wearing with certain jeans. So if I'm buying a pair of bootcut jeans and I want to be able to wear sneakers with them, I need to aim for a little bit of a shorter inseam. But if I'm looking to wear a heeled boot, for example, I might want to look for something that's a little bit longer. When you are wearing jeans that are too short or too long for the style of jean that you are wearing and for your leg length, it's going to sit at a really awkward spot. And this is something that we've probably all experienced. So wearing jeans that look like they're high water up on your ankle or having jeans that puddle on the ground, knowing your inseam is going to help make sure that you're getting the right length for the right style of jean. And finally, the third key element is the material. And this is the one that I feel like people do not talk about enough, and it was the one thing that completely changed denim for me. This one is also super helpful for online shopping because you aren't there to touch and feel that denim in person. So traditional denim is made from 100% cotton, but today there are often different blends of materials to give the denim different properties, so to give it more stretch or to help it maintain its shape. So when you can understand how different materials impact the denim, it can help you understand how that pair of jeans is going to fit without even touching or feeling it. So one of the most important materials to understand is spandex or elastane. And this material is what gives denim stretch. So again, traditional denim that's 100% cotton doesn't have any stretch to it. 1 to 2% spandex or elastane is usually considered a comfort stretch. It gives it just enough stretch so that it has a comfortable fit, but it's still going to feel like a solid pair of denim. And then more than that, you start to get those really stretchy jeans that are super comfortable and I like to call my sitting jeans. So how much stretch you want in your denim is going to depend on a couple different things. But I think most importantly, comfort is the biggest factor. So for me, because I have a little bit of a larger midsection, jeans that are 100% cotton and don't have a lot of stretch can be really uncomfortable. They are jeans that might look good when I'm standing, but the minute I have to sit down, it is cutting off my air supply and they're uncomfortable to be in all day long. So when I'm looking for jeans, I always like to look for that little bit of spandex to give that bit of comfort. Now it is finding that little bit of balance because what can happen with super stretchy jeans is they tend to cling to your midsection a little bit more. So I like to find that balance between having a bit of structure to my jeans, but also having that bit of comfort. This is also really helpful for sizing and knowing when to size up or down, especially when shopping online. So if I'm shopping online and I'm looking at the description and I see that there is very little stretch in these jeans, then that might be a pair that I want to size up. Whereas if there's a pair of jeans that have a ton of stretch, I might actually need to go a size down. But I can confidently do that because I know what I'm looking for. So that's the most important material to understand in terms of comfort and fit, but there are some other materials that add some interesting properties. For example, if you are someone who likes a really kind of soft, silky pair of jeans instead of a really rough, true denim, then something with a little bit of rayon is something you're going to want to look for. So again, understanding how different materials and different blends function is going to completely change the way that you shop for denim. So those are the 3 key elements that actually will impact fit. And as you noticed, the style of the jean is not one of them. The number one question I always hear people ask is, what style of jean works best for my body shape? And the truth is, just about anyone can wear any style of jean as long as they have the proper fit. So focusing on the style of jean is actually the least helpful. Which is great because this means that you can branch out and try different styles as long as you're making sure that you are finding the right fit. So when you put these 3 things together, when you understand rise, when you understand inseam, and when you understand the material and how that impacts fit, it is going to completely demystify denim, and it makes it so much less of a guessing game. Denim will always be a little bit of trial and error, but this is going to get you so much closer to the target so you aren't spending time trying on a bunch of different jeans and none of them fit. So I would encourage you to break out a tape measure and get those measurements for yourself so that you know exactly what it is that you need to look for, and you can go out and find your perfect pair of jeans. Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.